Well, well, well. Look what we found on the way to Sacramento. Ghirardelli chocolate has always been our very favorite chocolate. We buy their 60% chocolate chips all the time, just bags of them, and we eat them by the handful. It's our very favorite snack. But I did not know that they had outlets. Now, you might know that Ghirardelli is based out of San Francisco, which is near here. We are on Route 5 going north towards Sacramento, and we had to make a very quick decision from the highway if we could bring our RV off of the highway and into this parking lot, but it looked like we could. Quickly check the satellite view, and we are in Lake Flynn. So we're gonna see what's available. You know, sometimes outlets have better prices and sometimes they don't, so let's see. You know, one of the reasons we originally got hooked on Ghirardelli, and it is pronounced Ghirardelli, not Ghirardelli, which a lot of people say, is because at Disney Springs, and even at downtown Disney in the old days, the Ghirardelli store there used to give out free chocolate samples. So every time we went to Disney, we'd make sure and go over there to get our free chocolate. So that's how they became our favorite.
That went away during COVID, I believe.
Oh yeah, they don't do it anymore.
Nope.
Oh, it smells so good.
So get 4 of those.
Yeah. Hey, it is a little bit cheaper here. We were just at a Ghirardelli store the other day. I forget where, it must have been in Monterey. And the bulk price was $13 per half pound. And here it's 11. So you can save a little bit. And this chocolate chips price is grocery store or better. So I'm gonna pick up a bunch. They have even better deals over here. 5 of these bags for 40 bucks. It's only $8 a bag. That's a good price. And then these ones are 65% off. Wow. All right, we're gonna go for the 5 bags for $40.
For sharing.
I mean, they'll last forever. So we definitely want the new flavor, dark chocolate macchiato.
I'd definitely do this.
Sea salt caramel. Definitely.
Let's do the dark chocolate raspberry.
Chocolate raspberry.
That's 4.
That's 4. But if you want to get extra raspberry, that's okay.
I mean, I
know
love
you
the
like
raspberry.
those.
All right.
All right. I think this is our Easter basket.
That's it. It is.
It's a grown-up Easter basket.
It is our Easter basket.
I'll get 1 cherry, 1 hazelnut.
2 of those.
Two
Kind of like
blueberry.
the orange you break there. All right.
Oh my! I don't think we've ever scored a score like that in our lives. Look at this.
It really
Look at
was
this haul.
grown-up Easter candy run.
Jason saw it from the highway. He did a great job.
Made an executive decision.
Hi, circuit riders. We are checked in here at Thousand Trails Ponderosa, about 45 minutes outside of Sacramento in the little town of Lotus, California. And we ended up with a good site. Yesterday when we first arrived, they sent us up to a non-sewer site at the top of the hill, and they said, if a sewer site opens up, you're welcome to move down, but you just need to let us know first. And she thought there would be one opening up in a couple of days. So we went to the top of the hill, we got all unhooked and partially set up, and then we went out for a walk, and we noticed that one of the sewer sites at the bottom of the hill was already empty. So we ran over to the ranger and asked her if we could move, and she said yes. Now, normally at a first come, first serve park, I wouldn't ask. I would just hook up and move. But they specifically said here when we checked in, if we wanted to move sites, we had to clear it with the ranger first. So she said, fine, if it's empty, go ahead. Someone must have left early. So we packed everything back up again, hooked up the truck again, came down. We got this site a little bit tight, but I'd rather have a sewer, even if it's only 30 amp, than a 50 amp site with no sewer, because we're going to be here for 2.5 weeks. So we're just taking our first walk around the park. this evening after dinner. It's real nice right by this river here. There's a nice river area and just quiet, lots of trees and hills, and beautiful area here outside of Sacramento. Looks like part of this campground is closed. There was a rope across the road that we just came down. The sign is over it. And oh look, it's a rattlesnake area. That's great. These sites look like they've been grown over for a couple of years probably. So it's not a new closing. Maybe it got flooded. It's right here next to the river. Maybe there was a flood. California 1,000 Trails seem to have trouble with closures. But there is quite a bit of floating debris piled up here near the water. So I wonder if it flooded and then some big trees kind of swept through this area of the campground and knocked out the power. See this, those electrical boxes that are knocked over and stuff.
But then there's other ones that are fine.
Yeah.
Because just it was sporadic damage. Maybe.
Yep, a quick Google search tells me that there was a major flood here in Coloma, California in January of 2017. And then maybe, you know, maybe they were just starting to clean it up and then COVID happened. But nothing's been done with it since. Prime real estate for RVs though. Wouldn't it be nice to have your RV right here by this river? Beautiful.
Till it's swept away, I suppose.
I mean, what are the chances? You know, sometimes staying at 1,000 Trails, we're in places that aren't quite the nicest. And I'm sure that, you know, if we were at a KOA or an independent private campground, it would be beautiful and there'd be lots of amenities. But with 1,000 Trails, we're not paying anything to stay here overnight. We pay $116 a month for our 1,000 Trails membership, which covers more than 100 campgrounds all over the country. We could never do this full-time RV lifestyle without it. So I'm so grateful for 1,000 Trails. And, you know, some of the parks are struggling more than others. That's okay, I'll take it. I love these little R-Pod tents. R-Pod is a Forest River small travel trailer, but they have these tents that you can zip onto the sides of them. It doubles your space. We see them a lot. So cute. Hello. Well, it's project day in the RV, and today we are on a mission to hang a coat rack in our hallway outside of the bathroom. Now, the conventional wisdom for hanging things in RVs is use command hooks or command strips. They're very easy to stick on your walls and they don't make holes in your walls. You can move them around. If they fall down, you just stick another one up. And I have used command hooks great all over the RV. These hats are on hooks. All of my pictures that are hung up are on either Velcro or command hooks. I've got wreaths and other decorative things up. But we have had a problem with the coats because I think they're a little heavier and they tend to get taken on and off the hooks a lot. So we're constantly kind of pulling and nudging them. And some hooks have stayed up there great and some continuously fall off. I stick them back up with different kinds of adhesive, stickers, Velcro, whatever, and they just keep falling down. So we really want to install something permanent. When we first bought the RV, we promised ourselves that we would not install anything permanent in the walls of the RV until we had been in it for at least a year. We want to make sure we like the rig. We're going to stay in here long term before we alter anything. Well, we've been in here for almost 4 years now, so we feel like we've earned the right to start screwing into the walls. Now, the problem with making these kind of permanent alterations to RVs is always the mystery of what is behind this wall. This is not solid like it would be in a house. These RV internal walls are made of something called lauan, which is a very thin piece of wood that's kind of laminated with this wallpapery veneer stuff. It's very thin, about 1/4 of an inch, if that, maybe 1/8 of an inch. And you never know, how is this adhered? Is there aluminum studs behind here? Is there wood studs? Is it glued? Is it nailed? So apart from tearing off the wall, you really can't say for 100% certainty what is behind there. We do have a stud finder that we've been using, and when we go back and forth along the wall, we can pretty certainly find one stud in this area. Again, we don't know if it's aluminum or wood. We suspect it's aluminum because it's on an outside wall. But even the stud finder gives us different readings a few inches off. And the most consistent reading we have found is along the ceiling. So there seems to be a continuous piece of trim or a stud all along the ceiling and about maybe 3 to 4 inches down. We can continuously get the stud finder to read that there is something behind there. So what we've decided to do is to hang our piece of wood that we want to put our coat hooks on as close to the ceiling as possible, not all the way to the ceiling because that will be in the way of the hooks being able to be used. But if we can put it down a little bit and still hit that stud, I think that's our best option.
So we've figured out, we popped this off and could see that it's really a structural piece that's 3 to 4 inches tall. You know, just probably makes a whole frame all the way around. That comes down to this line. There's a little trick where you use tape to mark it, so you have to mark on the wall. So it comes down to this line, so all across here is solid. So all we need to do is make sure a combination of this piece of trim that's going to be we'll cut this, is anchored above, but in such a way that these hooks don't get so close to the ceiling that the top part's not useful. So a little bit of a trade-off we'll figure out here, and I think it shouldn't be too hard.
Now we do have some other potential places that we might hang permanent hooks. One is here in the bathroom. I have had a command strip hook up here to hang guest towels on, bathrobes and stuff, continuously falls down. So I would love to have one there, but because this is an internal wall, it's much more flimsy than the external wall. I'm not even sure there's any kind of stud in there at all. Not even at the top. So I don't know about that. And I have several places in the bedroom I would love to have permanent hooks. This is an external wall that's next to the bed slide. I used to have a little hook here that I would hang a decorative basket on. That keeps falling down. And over here next to the bed, I've got 2 bathrobe hooks. Mine stays up. Jason's continuously falls down. This one has worked great next to the closet. I've got a little double hook here for my sweatshirt and my hat. That has never fallen down. So I don't know what the issue is. They all seem to have the same kind of stickiness, but I think sometimes when things fall down and I stick it back up in the same place, the finish of the lauan veneer underneath gets worn off or something, and it just can't adhere as well if I keep sticking it back in the same place all the time.
Okay. You asked, should we use a level? And I said, we have no idea if the RV's level, if this wall's level, if that trim's level. So we're just gonna look at this gap here and this gap here and decide when they look close enough together that we like how it looks. Nice.
Lovely.
Do the trick. And I'm gonna hang on it.
Well, we had such good luck with that coat rack up towards the ceiling out in the hallway that I decided to do the same thing for the bathrobe hooks, but since there's only 2 of these, we don't need a board. So this top part up here is the same solid, stud or metal or something. So we just screwed the hooks right into the wall there and it worked great. Yay. Now this interior bathroom wall is going to be the trickiest one. There really is nothing inside of this wall to screw into.
But there's just this one panel here. So if we just pop the trim off, should be able to get back behind there and put a support piece in. All right. Yeah, we'll be able to get behind there. Just need to.
So this is how thin the lauan is, about 1/8 of an inch.
Yep. Now the question is this glued or just stapled? It's just stapled. Just gently going, but this stuff comes off these staples pretty easily.
Here's the Velcro command strips I was using to hang a picture there. Those have worked great.
None of it's super secure. It's pretty easy to get stuff out.
I like what you always tell guests when they come about the sturdiness of the RV.
Think of it as about 75% as sturdy as a house. I may be being generous, but all right.
The pocket door track and some wood above it.
Okay. I'm being careful.
So you can see there is one wooden brace piece across here, and that is to hold the light switch panel.
Yeah, the panel there.
And there's a toilet paper holder that's probably down below. But there's not any brace up where we need the hooks, so.
But I can get into it now. I don't need to take this off.
Yeah, it's scraping along the ceiling pretty hard, and it looks like it's,
Well, it's not scraping, it's tight.
Wedged in the corner behind that other piece, so we're not going to take it all the way out. And there's a wire in there too. What's this wire for?
Thermostat. Yeah.
Thermostat in the bedroom. Okay.
Which is this little tiny nub here. That's the temperature sensor.
Oh yeah, these things, they kind of look like magnets or something, but they're actually temperature sensors for the thermostat.
And there's two out there.
Yep.
So, to put those hooks in the wall in the bathroom, we just need something, some kind of backing for that to grab. And we cut a board down. We're going to adhere it to the inside of the wall, put some screws through that'll hold it there, and that'll give us a surface to grab. All right. Thank you, Ella.
You need a light at all?
No.
Just gluing it to the back of the lauan, but also wedging it between the trim wood that's inside of there.
All right. I'll barely do that and hand tighten it.
Now that this board in here is glued in and sticking, we can just screw the hooks right into it, and those little screws will grab the wood enough to hold it in place.
Just gonna staple this back on because the trim piece will cover this anyways. And actually, these heavier duty staples are gonna do a better job than what was there, so it will be good. Got it.
So we're just using our little brad nail gun to reattach the trim all around the wall.
This is an interior adhesive, not made for outside, so. Very good. A combination of just tacking that with all that adhesive, that's more than enough.